I want to play a question that came in from Jackie. She's a follower here. So let me just play that for us here. Thank you, Jackie, for submitting.
Hi, Jamie. I'm the founder of Idea Citizen, a 1.5 million member community on LinkedIn, and I also do live podcasts. The question I have is, so there's the brand and then there's me, but the lines are kind of blurry. Do you have any thoughts on how to make them clearly distinct?
I love that question, Jackie, and thank you for sharing it. And this answer may shock everybody, but the lines aren't blurry. You are the brand, and the brand is you. If I've learned one thing about this life and this work that I've done and the different sales roles and leadership roles I've had, is that you are a human first, always. You're a human who happens to have a very large community around whatever. That is you, and you are the brand. And I don't think you have to clear the lines. If you feel like you have to, then one of them is not aligned with who you really are. That's the simple answer, right? If you feel like you can't be yourself in both and be the face of your community and the face of your own personal brand, then you have to figure out what's disconnected. Because maybe you're entering a new chapter of life and now you need to move to a different direction, but you still are your own personal brand. You are the brand. I just did a presentation on this for a bunch of mortgage brokers a couple weeks ago. I'm like, the brand is not the 30-year fixed mortgage. The brand is not the company that you work for. The brand is you. You are the actual product. And it's really hard for people to wrap their head around that. But that's what I would say to her is there is no blurry lines. She is the brand.
Yeah, Jackie, I would say, you really want to think about the pillars, the 4 pillars that hold you up, and start creating content to wrap around each pillar, the legs of your chair. You want to think of it that way. Who are you as a person? Who are you as a leader? Who are you as an individual? And then maybe like what makes you unique and fun, and try to collaborate with people and also come up with content that really helps define you online so that your group and also maybe Facebook and LinkedIn start to see you differently and see you for who you are. And then you'll define that brand as a whole. Barb, you also host Relationships Are Your Superpower. And since she's also a podcaster, I want to bring that up. So tell us about it.
Yeah, Relationships Are Your Superpower it's a podcast around my whole entire my overarching brand. Again, to Jackie's point, my brand is the relationship advantage, and that relationships are, in my opinion, 3 different buckets. The first is the relationship with yourself, which is the most important relationship we have and the one I think we have to work on first. Then how do we build effective relationships with others? And then the third is how relationships make an impact. And the third bucket is sales, it's leadership, it's community, it's connection. It's all the ways that relationships truly make an impact in our life, ending with ultimately how relationships are your legacy. And that's what you leave going forward in life when you build them effectively, starting with the most important one.
And speaking of LinkedIn, that's one of the places I've built many connections, and it's all about building those relationships. And if you are on LinkedIn, since you're, maybe listening for Jackie, what you may want to do on LinkedIn is find people that you find interesting. DM them, ask them what they do. Start the conversation without an ask. Don't ask for something, give something, compliment them. Maybe then ask, what do you do? And make it all about them. And that will really help you build those relationships in a digital world, especially on LinkedIn.